Welcome to Transform Relationships podcast, sharing with you authentic and relatable conversations on the ups and downs, the ins and outs on all things relationships. Hi there, I'm your host Diane. I'm a psychotherapist, a counsellor and a hypnotherapist. I work in private practice and I specialise in working with marriage and relationships. Hi, and welcome to podcast number 3, Pillar 1, Effective Communication. In the last podcast, number 2, I discussed with you in a little bit of depth of the 5 pillars to having a happy and a satisfying relationship. I hope you are all doing well, whatever time of the year it is for you and wherever you are. I hope you're all safe and are doing well with your relationships. I want to talk about effective communication first because I feel it's one of the most important parts to any relationships. It is the key to its success. And let's face it is difficult to learn how to talk a different way. We can talk, but it's how we talk. That's the most important part. And I'll go into that in a little bit more detail later on. I'll also be talking about what is the process of communication, what are the skills required for communication, and the benefits for communication. And right at the end, I'll give you a few tips that you can actually start applying today within your relationship. First of all, I just want to put things into perspective a little bit. I talk a lot about relationships, and I've done a bit of training with Dr. Thomas Gordon, who's all about communication. And he has written this beautiful credo, a credo for my relationship with others. And I think it covers everything that's really important in relationships. And I'm going to read this out to you now before I start with effective communication, because this to me is the end result. All these little tips and some wisdom and some tools that I'm giving you are the stepping stones to get to this place in relationship. And look, let's face it, it takes time. It's not going to happen overnight, but with perseverance and hard work and dedication, it can be done. So I just want you to sit back now and really allow these next words to drop in. See if you resonate with them. See if this is something that you could apply or you want for your relationship. And I tell you, it is achievable. So if you're at home and you have an opportunity to sit down, close your eyes, imagine your partner in front of you and imagine that you are saying these words to your partner. Obviously, if you're in the car, don't close your eyes. That won't be a good thing. Or walking, but maybe stop and sit on a bench and just really be present with these words, allow these words to sink in. So a credo for my relationship with others. You and I are in a relationship that I value and want to keep. Yet each of us is a separate person with our own unique values and needs, and the right to meet those needs, so that we will better know and understand what each of us values and needs. Let us always be open and honest in our relationship. When you are having problems meeting your needs, I will listen with genuine acceptance and understanding so as to facilitate your finding your own solutions instead of depending on mine. And I want you to be a listener for me when I need to find solutions to my problems. At those times when your behaviours interfere with what I must do to get my own needs met, I will tell you openly and honestly how your behaviour affects me, trusting that you respect my needs and feelings enough to try and change the behaviour that is unacceptable to me. Also, when some behaviours of mine is unacceptable to you, I hope that you will tell me openly and honestly so I can try and change my behaviour. And when we experience conflicts in our relationships, let us agree to resolve each conflict without either of us resorting to the use of power to win at the expense of the other losing. I respect your needs, but I also must respect my own. So let us always strive to search for a solution that will be acceptable for both of us. Your needs will be met, and so will be mine. Neither will lose. In this way, you can continue to develop as a person through satisfying your needs, and so can I. Thus, our relationship can be healthy, in which both of us can strive to become what we are capable of being, and we can continue to relate to each other with mutual respect, love, and peace. Written by Dr. Thomas Gordon from Gordon Training International. How was that? I feel that is the most beautiful piece of words that have been put together. I love it, and if we can all live like that, remembering these words. If any of you want a copy of that credo, just contact me and I will send it out to you. So let's get into the first pillar, which is effective communication. Now, I've placed this first because without knowing how to communicate effectively, it makes it difficult to implement number 2 to 5. So learning how to communicate in this way can be learning a new language. It takes practice to make progress. I don't believe practice to make something perfect. I just believe in progress. Progress for me is a movement forward. As long as we are taking a couple of steps forward, we are learning, we are growing, and you may take a step back, and that is completely fine. But keep making progress, keep moving, keep learning, keep growing. I am supporting my clients each day, step by step, working at their own pace. I meet them where they are at because we're all different. So let's look at some of the listening skills required first to be an effective communicator. Active listening. That is just reflecting back what you've just heard. What are the feelings? What are the facts? And acknowledging your partner. This is one of the most important skills that a couple can learn for their relationship. How to actually acknowledge, how to active listen. This means you need to be out of your head and you need to be present with your partner. Active listening. I messages. Talking about yourself. I feel. I would like. When we do you messages, it actually creates a divide and hurts the other self-esteem. And they become defensive. So active listening, I messages. Be concrete and clear in your delivery of your message. Show empathy. Have non-verbal communication. Be mindful of your body language. Be open. Looking at your partner, eye contact, body language, extremely important. Having cognitive resilience is extremely important, and the more that you can start applying these tools, the more that cognitive resilience will grow and become stronger. Let's look at the communication process. This starts with the person who needs to deliver a message. So firstly, understand clearly what you want to say. Give some thought to what it is that you are feeling and what you need. So allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Drop into your body. What am I feeling? Allow yourself to get in touch with that feeling. Give it some time. Just give it 5 minutes. Where am I feeling it? What's going on for me? Oh, name it. Sadness, happiness. I'm angry. Really get to know your feelings. And to do that, you need to spend some time with them. So when you are clear with your message, the message then will be clear. If you are not clear, you may become frustrated in trying to deliver this message because you're already uncertain what's going on for you. And then you're trying to deliver it to your partner and you're getting frustrated and they're getting frustrated. So, and you don't get what you need and nothing gets resolved. So take the time to really feel what's going on for you and why this is happening and what you need and how that this behavior is affecting you. What is the effects on you? So imagine just saying to your partner, I'm unhappy. He'll say, why? You say, I don't know, I'm just unhappy with our relationship. Yeah, that's common. As opposed to saying, now, when you say that, there's no thought put into that, is there? I'm just unhappy. Here, now you have your unhappiness, and now you solve my unhappiness. That's unfair, really unfair. So it's your responsibility, first and foremost, to find out what it is that you're unhappy about. As opposed to saying, I feel a little sad that we're not spending time together. I really miss you. Can we organise to have a day out, just you and me? Now, this is clear. You're sending a clear message of how you're feeling and what you need. There is nothing to guess here. It's all open and honest. Now, a lot of people could be feeling this way, but without the correct communication skills, it could sound something like this when you're delivering a message to your partner. Now, remember, the need is to spend time with the partner. But if you deliver a message like this, you're always busy. Your work is more important than I am. You don't care about me. You don't care about the relationship. These are fighting words, and it's very unclear communication. It's really attacking the partner using you messages, not the I messages that I spoke about before. When using I messages, you are talking about how you feel, and you can't argue with that. But when you are using you messages, the other feels attacked and feels like they need to defend themselves. And this leaves both of you frustrated, disconnected, and sad. Number 2, choose the right time to have the conversation. Never talk to your partner when the emotions are heightened. So if you're already getting heightened, then think I'm going to talk about it. It is the wrong time. Because at this stage, the rational side of the brain has shut down and the emotional brain is in operation. And this means that the person is in fight or flight. So nothing gets productive and nothing will be achieved at this stage. So it's probably time just to take a bit of a break. Number 3, make the request to chat with your partner. Be mindful of your tone of voice. Your partner will be open to hearing what you are saying, or they will shut down if the tone of voice is not right. It sounds something like this. Hey sweetie, I have something to chat with you about. Is now a good time? Or let's make a time for later. Doing it this way, you are being respectful of your partner's time. You are not taking them by surprise. If you do, then they will become defensive and they will feel unprepared, and the person who has the issue may be heightened as they have put off talking about the issue, but now they are really geared up for it. By agreeing to a discussion, they are far more open to be talking about and listening to what you need, as they have said yes, and it was done very respectfully. Number 4, now deliver your message. Obviously, for this process to run smoothly, you both need to understand how to communicate effectively. And a big part of that is to hear and acknowledge the person who is delivering the message. So how to be a good listener. Number 5, finally, coming up with a solution that is suitable to you both. For the above example of missing the other, be creative and fun. Come up with a solution together. Or if your partner's coming to you with an external problem that doesn't relate to you two as a couple, please don't give solutions, just listen. You can offer, is there anything I can do? Would you like to do some problem solving? I'll go into that a little bit later on. Okay, now we're looking at what are the benefits of communication. There's less conflict because you're talking about your issues more. You find out more about your partner because you're going a little bit deeper. Needs get met more easily. You feel lighter internally because you are able to share your needs and your opinions with less stress. Less stress on you is less stress on the body. So you feel lighter. You feel more authentic within yourself. You're able to be you. You're able to say how you feel, what you want, what you need, without worrying about conflict. It creates a connectedness, that's a huge word, with your partner, a deeper level of connection, because you're both understanding each other, you're both respecting each other, and this builds trust and respect. This is very important in a relationship, having trust and respect, especially for a woman to trust her man. If she can't be vulnerable. Having a relationship you both desire, it will create that. It creates a higher self-esteem and self-worth because you feel like what you have to say is being respected and it's being heard and it's important. So that's going to help your self-worth and self-esteem. Your emotional intelligence will grow as you are able to share your feelings and emotions. You're not just stuck in the same one. You can grow, you can express them, you can let it run through you. And lastly, if you are parents, you are passing on to your children and future generations the gift of communication. How to do it differently, how to connect, how to get needs met. How beautiful is that? What a beautiful gift to pass on to your children. Can you see how learning to communicate this way could change your relationship? I talk a lot about responsibility. Being in a functional relationship is hard work and can be very difficult for some people because there are so many emotions involved with the intimate relationship and so much at stake. But with dedication and hard work, how to learn how to communicate, the payoff is absolutely amazing. It can be a slow process, and remember we are learning a different level of process, a different way of communication. And everyone learns differently. Everyone learns and processes differently. So how you learn and process is not necessarily how your partner is. So this is an opportunity to be kind and respectful of where you are both at. Some are quick, some need more time. Please always remember to see your partner through their own lens, not through your own lens. Understand their perspective. So let's have some tips on how you can start to be a clearer communicator today. You can apply these today. So when your partner is talking, so number one, when your partner is talking, be present with them. And what that means is you engage all of your senses to stay with them. Look at their body language. How do you think they are feeling? Listen to the words they are being used. Number two, be aware of your own thoughts when your partner is sharing. Even if it's something you don't agree with, you can have your say later, but listen, always be available to them. Listen and acknowledge them, what they have said. After they're finished talking, always acknowledge them. And I can see, it sounds something like, I can see you're really upset with me. And I can see how you've come up with that thought. Always give a little pause before then you come in and say your side. Have a pause. If you don't, it's going to sound something like, I can see how you're really upset with me for doing blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Last week you did it. That's just going to cause a fight. And your partner is really not going to feel heard and acknowledged and understood. So acknowledge your partner, give a pause. The pause is important. That says, let them hear that. Let them feel that. It's like when we apologize. We don't apologize and then go, but, I'm sorry, but. Imagine saying to your partner, looking at their eyes and going, you know what, I apologize for that. And pause. That's huge. That is huge. Number three, don't just say, I understand how you're feeling. That's very unclear and your partner will not feel validated. Say something more like, I can see that you're frustrated or you seem angry. And this is where, if you are present with your partner, you will pick up on what's going on. But if you are in your head trying to have a response, you will not pick up on what's going on. Practice presence, practice presence, practice presence. See what is going on for them. Feel what is going on for them. And let them know what you're seeing and feeling. That's how they will feel validated. And for all the men out there, you do not need to fix anything. I'll say that again. You do not need to fix anything. Your woman wants you to listen. Be there. Acknowledge her feelings. Acknowledge the facts. And maybe ask at the end, when you've given the pause, is there anything I can do? Can I support you in any way? Or if you do have some thoughts on how you could, inverted commas, fix it, ask her, I have a few thoughts about that. Is it okay if I share them with you? That way she's going to say yes or no. And if it's no, you need to just really respect that and go with that, because that's her wish. As you can see, it's a very different way of being with your partner. And because it is, you will achieve a different relationship. If you apply this different way of being, you're going to have a different relationship. This is one way how relationships can transform from shut down survival to growing and thriving, having a happy and satisfying relationship. In my practice, I teach my clients all these skills and I guide them every step of the way. There's no rush. Remember, the turtle won the race, not the hare. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, number 3, the third podcast of effective communication. My next podcast, I will be talking about 2 of the pillars. It will be responsibility and number 2, understanding and acceptance. Have a gorgeous day. Take care. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of Transform Relationships podcast. I hope you enjoyed it and I look forward to sharing some more time with you again soon. Bye for now.